Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly tarot reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. My name is Kelsey and this is Igniting Insight. This is a general reading that is not date specific, so whenever you're landing here is when the reading is meant for you. I use a combination of Oracle and Tarot to do my readings, and please keep in mind that it is general, so it's not going to resonate with every Aquarian out there, but I do hope there's something in the message that is for you. The way I'm doing readings this week, similar to last week, and this is only the second week that I'm doing these readings, but I'm going to use the Wisdom of the Oracle to get an overall energy for the week, and then pulling from the Illuminated Earth Oracle to get an aspect of the issue that's unconscious. We're going to dive into the tarot to get some information about timelines and some more details about the issue that you're dealing with this week, as well as some blocks, and then a guidance card for the future to help you move forward in a way that is positive for you. I just want one card, please. So what can we get for Aquarius for the week ahead for an overall energy? No place like home. We got this card also for Sagittarius. So no place like home speaks to the desire we all have to come home. And I really feel that this is coming home to ourselves, coming home to our inner knowing, our inner peace, our inner being, our souls. But it can also be physical. It can be physical in that you are maybe coming into a new place, a new sense of groundedness in your physical residence that feels like home. You could be going back to a place that is home for you, whether that's like your family house or your hometown, or maybe you've been away for a long time and you're just coming back home. But something along those lines is what we're looking at for Aquarius. And we'll get more into the details of what this could be, more into the possibilities. But I do feel like for most of you, it is a sense of coming home to yourself, especially the imagery there with the light coming from the house. It's like that house is you and the light is coming from within. So you're illuminated from within. That's what I'm getting. And then for the unconscious, we got connection. Very interesting. So this could speak to your connection with others. But what I'm getting intuitively for you is that this is about connecting inwardly, connecting with yourself. Right? Connecting with your inner knowing and your inner sense of peace and your inner sense of being at home in yourself. It's unconscious, so there could be some issues or struggles around this right now. You could feel a little bit insecure about just your personal sovereignty or your personal sense of feeling at home in yourself. But we'll unwrap this issue a little bit further. And it's going to differ for everyone, but I think it's just an overall sense. What I'm getting is the energy. It's not so much something happening externally for you this week, but it's more of this internal need to connect within and also to connect with others, because we got the Three of Pentacles here, which is about teamwork, building in partnerships and in teams. Building something physical a lot of times, or manifesting something. It could be manifesting some sort of abundance for you. We get the Four of Cups, which is about not seeing the gifts that are coming in for you. So let's just keep unfolding this, but I do get the sense, Aquarius, that new things are coming in. Ooh, the Devil reversed. The Devil's all about temptation, and reversed, it doesn't change the meaning too much, and I do take my reversals very intuitively about what they're speaking to. This could be the temptation to, I'm getting the temptation to sell ourselves short. Sometimes we can actually be addicted to self-sabotaging behavior because we're afraid of feeling empowerment, and I think empowerment is one of our birthrights. So this kind of sense of coming home to yourself is like you could be afraid of like feeling your own sense of inner security, because we've all been taught this like scarcity mindset, and so you're having an addiction to self-defeating behaviors so that you don't have to come home to yourself, so you don't have to come home to yourself, because coming home to yourself also means going through all the darkness, right? It means going through all of this darkness that the devil represents, all of these shadows. We get King of Cups in reverse. So the Aquarius that I'm connecting to here is feeling out of touch with their emotions. Or this could be someone in your life, a masculine figure, has hurt you emotionally is what I'm getting. Normally the King of Cups is very emotionally secure and, you know, the sovereign of their own emotional being. But yeah, you've definitely felt like left out of something. Something has hurt you, Aquarius. This is a 5 of Pentacles. This is about being left out in the cold. Exactly what the card looks like. So very interesting. Let's look again. Connection. So what I'm getting here is, yes, you need to connect within, but you also need to connect with others. Find like-minded souls to connect with, whether that be in your physical reality or even through social media. I really feel like the Aquarius that I'm connecting to here needs to see that they are a part of something. They are a part of a team. They are a part of a greater collective, and that something is being offered to them emotionally, but they need to open their eyes to receive it. Let's go ahead and look at some blocks. And I don't want this reading to end, you know, on a negative note, but I'm staying consistent with all the signs about what cards I'm pulling, and we just happen to get kind of this overall energy of like, you continue to feel left out. The last card we got, you know, is being left out in the cold. But I think our guidance card will hopefully pull it all together. So for blocks, we get compromise, aloneness, and a burden. So could be you're needing to compromise, maybe make some exceptions for something in your life. Maybe you sorry about that, Aquarius. We got cut off. My camera battery died for the second time during these series of readings, so I've switched to my phone. I hope the quality's not too much different for you. So let's just go ahead and get back to the blocks that we were talking about. Compromise, aloneness, and the burden. So compromise, what I'm seeing with this card is a need to find healthy compromise in relationships and also in the way we're treating ourselves. If we're holding ourselves to really high standards, or if we're holding others to impossible standards, we're not going to be able to make the kinds of connections that are going to help us find fulfillment and help us find this sense of home. So there's a need to compromise, but I say healthy compromise because we don't want to compromise our integrity, right? We don't want to compromise our, sovereignty and our truth, but sometimes the ego can get in the way and we can have ideas that we need someone or ourselves to live up to a certain set of standards that really is, first, not what we need, and also not really reasonable to ask somebody, and also just based off of our own kind of unconscious fears. So I would say take some time alone this week to reflect on this, reflect on, and also this can be a block of like feeling like you feeling only comfortable with yourself when you're alone and not knowing how to be with other people. Or it could go vice versa, where you kind of surround yourself with people to try to fill these internal voids, and because you're not comfortable with yourself and your ability to be alone and your ability to connect with yourself and your own inner sense of home. So I think I'm talking to maybe two different groups of Aquarians that are on two sides of this polarity. Then we have the burden. So this is just about carrying too much, and I really see this as the ego. So I think for Aquarians resonating with this message, it's kind of a battle with the ego this week. This is like life, right? Battling the ego, like that's kind of the spiritual journey, is like learning to get out of unconsciousness and into consciousness, which is all about learning how the ego has kind of dictated our lives and choosing something else, choosing to align with our soul's mission, our soul's purpose, rather than the ego fears. A lot of times this is just fear of letting go of whatever is burdening you, because we don't know what's on the other side. But when we feel this sense of security and home within ourselves, then it's much easier to not be afraid, because we feel secure in ourselves. So we feel like we are enough. It takes a lot of time alone and time and reflection to get to this place where we can feel that way. And it's hard when we've got, these heavy emotions. If you're dealing with some sort of self-sabotaging behavior or addiction, definitely something to let go of. Definitely not going to serve you in the long run if you're using things to numb yourself from experiencing your full truth. And I always speak to this as like, we need to look to our darkness. We need to be able to look into our shadows in order to see the light, in order to integrate ourselves, in order to get our sense of security. It almost is paradoxical that we have to go into our insecurities to find inner security, to find inner peace, and this inner sense of home is really what I think this is about for you. So let me pull one last card for guidance from the Oracle of the Unicorns to help you guide your efforts and your energy forward this week. Okay. We had two that came out. I'm just going to go ahead and take them together because I think they are good. We have balance and anger. Okay, so balance says take time to relax, indulge a little more or less, set boundaries with your work. So obviously we all need to find balance in our lives. We need to find that happy medium between work and play, and between doing this inner integration work and allowing ourselves time to rest and recuperate. I think for you, this balance is about also being with people and being alone, doing that work by yourself and connecting with others. Anger says, safely express your anger. Use anger as a positive force. Honor all of your emotions as sacred. So we didn't get any fire energy for you. We got 2 pentacles and 2 cups. So I think that there could be some anger that needs to be released in a healthy way that maybe you're not aware of, maybe you haven't really realized is there. But it is okay to safely express your anger. I think a great way to do this is, you can, exercise is a great way to do this. Journaling out your feelings and your frustrations. If you do any sort of art, kind of get into your art or your music or something like that and just express the feelings that way, because you can make something as dark or as, ferocious as you want, I suppose I want to say. And it's not going, you're actually still just creating something. It's not going to hurt anybody. And it's asking you also to temper yourself, because it did come out with balance. To temper yourself over the week, you could experience some emotions coming up, some angry emotions coming up. Make sure that you temper that and you don't kind of spew those onto others, and you release them in a healthy way. Okay, Aquarius, that's all I have for you this week. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope it helps you navigate your energy if it did resonate. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions to the channel are greatly appreciated. I hope to see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.